Hey everyone, Alex here. I talk about self-improvement, simple living, mindful consumption, and fragrance. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the 5 ways that I'm putting myself first in 2025. Compared to the last couple of years that have felt a little bit more chaotic, I really do aim to live in a more calm and peaceful state this year. And I've written down the 5 things that I am really focusing on and kind of the 5 ways that I aim to achieve this. Now, because this is partly a fragrance channel, my scent of the day is Intense Cedrat Boisé by Mancera. This is beautiful. I'm not really going to talk too much about it. This is just what I'm wearing today. Now, let's jump right into the video. So as I said, I've got a bit of a list here of the 5 things that I'm doing to put myself first. And the very first one is, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And this is a philosophy that I've been trying to live by over the last probably 12 to 18 months. But this year, I really want this to be a focus for me. I don't believe that we have enough time in life to be doing things that we don't genuinely want to do. Now, I'm not talking about responsibilities and things that we actually have to do. I'm talking about things that we're not necessarily required to do, that we might have just been asked to do or invited to do, that we don't really want to do. You know, the events that you're dreading going to, you know that it's the day of this event and all day you're just like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. It gets to the night and you're getting ready and you're like, I wish this got cancelled, or I wish I had a reason not to go. To me, I believe that if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, and you shouldn't be doing it. I think that because life is so short, 80, 90 years is not a hugely long time in the grand scheme of things. I don't think that we have enough time in our life to be doing those things unless we genuinely, truly, really want to do them. If they light us up inside and we're excited by them and we can't wait to go and do these things that we've been asked to do or invited to do, there's really no point doing them. And I think that that time that you're spending going and doing that thing that you don't want to do, I think you could be using that for much more, I hesitate to say productive, perhaps much more important things to you. Maybe you could spend that time with loved ones. Maybe you could spend that time just on your own, just enjoying your own company, or spending time developing a habit or anything like that. I think that your time is better utilized spending on something that you actually want to do, rather than going and doing something that you don't want to do but you feel obligated to do. So for me, the very first thing that I'm doing is really keeping this in mind, that the word no is a full sentence. You don't need any justification. You don't need any other reason. No is enough of a sentence. And if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second one is, I'm not trying to keep up this year. And I've spoken about this in other videos, particularly my video about deleting social media and really what I'm leaving behind from 2024 and what I'm not bringing into 2025 is, I don't want to be feeling like I have to keep up with other people, because at the end of the day, I'm living my life, you're living your life. The last person that you saw on YouTube or the last person that you saw on TikTok or Instagram, they're all living their own lives, and we're all running different races. And some of us aren't even running. Some of us are just trying to live and be present and experience our own lives, rather than trying to feel like we have to make a bunch of different moves that we don't want to make just so that we can keep up appearances and stay up, with everybody else. And I don't want to do that this year. I think that for me, when I'm trying to keep up with other people, I'm miserable. It doesn't make me happy to try and chase material possessions. And certainly there are some nice things that I like that I've bought. I'm not anti-purchasing things, but I am anti-purchasing things just to keep up with other people. And especially if they're things that I don't want and I just feel like I have to have, like the latest iPhone or, the newest fragrance that's just been released. I don't feel like that's something that I want to do. And I see a lot of people, I've even fallen into this myself. I see people buying things because of how they're going to be perceived once they've bought that thing. Like a Louis Vuitton bag, for example, those are thousands of dollars. And to be honest, I don't even think that a lot of people like them that much. I think people just buy them to fit in, and I could be wrong. I'm not saying everybody does that, but I would say that a lot of people would buy them to fit in. They want to be seen with that bag. They want to be seen with, the kind of check print and the logos all over it, because they want to feel like they have to keep up with other people. And that's what really drives a lot of that behavior. And for me, I'm not interested in that. So this year, I'm not trying to keep up with people. The way that I'm doing that is I deleted my social media. Now, yes, I still watch YouTube, and technically, while it's a social media, I do get that. It has a different effect for me, and I find that rather than focusing on, short, kind of mindless content just for the sake of creating content, most of the videos on YouTube, other than the shorts, are still more carefully thought out. People have planned them a little bit more, and there's more effort and time and consideration that goes into those videos. So to me, social media, when I say social media, I mean more Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Those have more of an impact on me when it comes to feeling like I have to keep up with people, because I'm watching people's lifestyles that they've kind of curated and made it appear like this is their lifestyle. Whereas on YouTube, I'm more watching it for the information in the video. So that's the second thing, is I'm not trying to keep up with people this year. I'm more than happy to keep my blinders on and run my own race. I'm really trying to just stay in my own lane this year, and I don't care if I look like I'm falling behind. I don't care if I look like I'm sidestepping and going every which way. I'm really just trying to do my own thing this year and do what's right for me. And a huge part of that is not trying to keep up with other people. Okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing is, and this is a big one for me, not obsessing over productivity. So as a business owner, productivity is something that I do not necessarily have the best relationship with. I have skipped sleep, I have skipped meals, I have skipped going to the gym, I've skipped time with my girlfriend and my family for the sake of being productive and getting things done in the business. And I am not interested in doing that anymore. My business is important to me. I love my clients. I obviously need my business to run because that's how I survive. But I'm not interested in putting productivity above other more important things. At the end of the day, I work to live. I don't live to work. And so by obsessing over productivity and trying to cram as much into a day as possible, all that does is it takes time away from other important areas of my life, but it really doesn't benefit me all that much more. Let's say I get 3 or 4 extra tasks done a day, and I might make, X amount extra that day. I'm not, and I have to be careful how I say this, I'm not desperate for money. I'm fortunate to be in a position where I've worked very hard to be, I'm not desperate for money. I can pay my bills. I'm not rich by any means, so please don't think that. But I'm not desperate for money. So whether I make, an extra little bit of money this day, or I don't make that money that same day, it doesn't really have much of an impact on my life. And so what I would rather be doing this year is having a few key tasks to check off every day. And then once those are done, if I want to, I can shut my laptop and I'm done for the day. I don't want to be filling my every single day with as many tasks as possible just for the sake of just pushing that little bit further in the business or making that little bit of extra money when really it has no impact on my life, except for the fact that it takes away from other important areas. So not obsessing over productivity. I really like the idea of a small but impactful daily to-do list rather than a massively long to-do list with a bunch of different tasks, most of which probably aren't that important, or I could have someone on my team or somebody else do them. So that's the third thing, not obsessing over productivity. The next one is, and this kind of goes hand in hand, I guess this is kind of the theme of all of these, but this is prioritizing mental health and eliminating things that are a bad fit. So this year, I'm conscious that the last couple of years have taken a toll on me mentally. I've had some fantastic moments and I've had some really low moments as well, as does pretty much every person on the planet. But for me, I can only talk about my own experience. My mental health has been, I don't want to say rocky, but I've had a lot more kind of negative moments that I would have liked to have over the last couple of years, as I've struggled with knowing exactly where I want to take my life, and as I've had mounting pressure in my business. There have just been a few things that have made things a little bit difficult for me, and also coming out of the pandemic, with the cost of living just going absolutely through the roof around the world, but really quite particularly here in Australia, that's also been adding pressure to me as well. And so for me, I really do want to focus on prioritizing my mental health, and with things that are bad for my mental health, things that stress me out more than necessary, or things that make me view myself in a bad way, like social media. Those are the things that I'm really happy just cutting out of my life and not feeling any guilt or shame about doing so. So basically for me this year, if something is negatively impacting my mental health, whether that is a person, whether that is a client, I've certainly gotten rid of clients who are bad for my mental health, whether that is software or a tool or an app or whatever, like social media or anything like that, I'm more than happy to cut that out of my life without any hesitation. Because I think that prioritizing mental health is something that's so important that we all know that we need to do, but oftentimes we can kind of keep putting off doing what we know we should be doing because we're like, I'm busy, or oh, I can't get rid of this person. You really can. If it's going to be better for your mental health and it's going to bring you more peace and calm, you can do it and you should do it. And so that's what I'm going to be doing this year as well. And that is the fourth thing, which is prioritizing mental health and eliminating things that are a bad fit. Excuse me. Now, the fifth thing, and this is one that I have kind of spoken about when it comes to social media, but I want to replace my scrolling with quality alone time. For me, I spent a lot of time scrolling on social media before I deleted it. I had some days where I would spend 4, 5, sometimes 6 to 8 hours on social media, and I didn't realize how much time I was spending on social media, and it was usually time that I should have been sleeping or at the gym. And so by eliminating TikTok, Instagram, Facebook out of my life, really what that has allowed me to do is it's basically just given me an extra 5 to 8 hours a day of extra time that, I had it before, but I was using it in a not a very positive or beneficial way. So with those extra hours that I've gotten each day, I want to be replacing that scrolling time with quality alone time. And the reason I say quality alone time is I think that so many of us are really going through it mentally, emotionally, physically even, and we look for all of these other ways to distract ourselves without addressing the fact head on that we need to have a better relationship with ourselves. We need to be able to enjoy our time alone and really enjoy us as people. I'm going to be with myself for the rest of my life. You're going to be with yourself for the rest of your life. And I think it makes sense to be able to enjoy our own company. Otherwise, it's just going to be a miserable existence. And so for me, I'm really trying to replace that time that I was originally spending scrolling on social media with other things that matter to me. I've got my guitars. If I just move this awkwardly, I've got some guitars just here. I've also got a bit of a library of books as well. I love spending time reading. I've been getting into fiction after not reading fiction books for years. I've been really enjoying being able to immerse myself in a story and just, enter a bit of a different world and, experience different people and personalities through books. I really enjoy that. I also enjoy just laying in bed and listening to music. But the thing that has been really beneficial for me, especially when it comes to mental health and quality alone time, is I've been running so much over the last couple of months, and I recently completed my first official half marathon, although I do half marathons a couple of times a week. I generally run between 30 to 60 kilometers a week. At the moment, it's getting closer to 60, and I'm trying to get up to 100 kilometers a week because I want to get into ultra running. But I've got a marathon in June that I'm training for, and running has been the single best thing that I could have ever started to do for myself, because not only does it allow me to do nothing except breathe and think, but it's been good for my physical health, it's been good for my mental health, and it's made me see myself in a different light because I know that I can commit to doing something hard and push through even when it's difficult to achieve something great on the other end. And so that kind of ties into replacing scrolling with quality alone time. And that is the fifth thing that I'm doing this year to prioritize myself. I do hope that you found this insightful, and I would love to hear what you're doing this year to prioritize yourself. What other things do you think are important to do, like meditating or focusing on sleep or dieting? What are some of the things that you're doing or recommend for other people to focus on this year to prioritize themselves? I would love for you to comment that below. Any other ideas for videos that you'd like me to talk about, please also let me know. And as usual, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with someone that you might think might find it useful. Thanks so much for checking in. Hope you're having a fantastic week, and we'll speak soon.